Islam Makhachev may be on the verge of shaking up the UFC landscape in a major way. The reigning lightweight champion is strongly considering a permanent move to welterweight, citing a lack of worthy contenders left at 155 pounds. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an update. His manager recently hinted that the UFC is already in discussions about Islam's next fight, ruling out potential matchups against Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan, and Ilia Topuria. However, Makhachev himself has expressed interest in defending his title one more time, against none other than Justin Gaethje. The Dagestani champion is keeping a close eye on Gaethje's upcoming fight against Dan Hooker at UFC 313. If Gaethje emerges victorious, Islam is open to giving him a title shot, but beyond that, the writing on the wall seems clear. Makhachev is ready to move up and chase greatness in a second weight class. In a recent Russian interview, Islam made his intentions clear. I don't see a lot of work left to do in my division. I've beaten almost everybody. I'm thinking about moving up to 170 and I could stay there. I don't want to make any statements about Belal Muhammad or Shavkat Rakhmonov yet. We'll see how the fight goes. I haven't spoken to the UFC since my last fight. We need to sit down and talk about these things. This potential move is intriguing, but it also raises a big question. Could Islam fight his own teammate Belal Muhammad? Muhammad currently holds the welterweight belt, making this a complicated situation. Islam's head coach Khabib Nurmagomedov has made it clear that he wouldn't be in favor of such a fight, but ultimately, the decision is in Islam's hands. Makhachev's competitive drive and desire to cement his legacy may push him to pursue a second world title, regardless of the personal challenges involved. With his expected return to action in July, he's likely to wait for the outcome of the upcoming Muhammad vs. Rakhmonov fight before making any final decisions about his future in the welterweight division. What do you think? How would Islam Makhachev match up against Belal Muhammad or Shavkat Rakhmonov? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Khamzat Chimaev is making a bold declaration. 2025 will be the year he becomes the UFC middleweight champion. Despite only fighting once in late 2024, Boers remains as confident as ever, insisting that no one can stop him from claiming UFC gold. His message to fans was clear: I will take this belt and no one can stop me. But with only one fight per year since 2022, his road to the title is anything but guaranteed. The middleweight division is stacked with elite fighters, and while Chimaev's undefeated record and dominant performances make him a top contender, his inactivity raises questions about whether he will get his shot at the belt this year. Currently ranked number 3 in the division, Chimaev sits just behind Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland, with Dricus du Plessis holding the championship. The most direct path to gold would be a fight against the winner of du Plessis versus Strickland, a bout that will determine the division's next champion. If Chimaev is willing to wait and stay ready, he could be next in line for a title fight later this year. However, UFC matchmaking is unpredictable and nothing is guaranteed, especially with so many potential rematches and contenders waiting for their own opportunities. If a title shot doesn't materialize immediately, another massive fight could be on the horizon. Israel Adesanya is set to face Nasruddin Imavov at UFC Riyadh, a fight that could determine another key player in the title picture. If Adesanya wins, a fight between him and Chimaev would be one of the biggest matchups the UFC could make. The two have exchanged words in the past, and their contrasting styles would make for an intriguing showdown. Adesanya's world-class striking versus Chimaev's relentless grappling. But if Imavov pulls off the upset, a fight between him and Chimaev could serve as a title eliminator, with the winner earning a shot at the belt. The biggest obstacle in Chimaev's path isn't necessarily his skills, it's his activity. Since his breakout performances in 2020, he has struggled to stay consistent, with injuries and fight negotiations slowing his momentum. While he remains one of the most feared and talked about fighters in the UFC, fans and analysts alike are wondering whether he can finally put together the fights needed to secure his title shot. His last fight, a decision victory over former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman, showed both his dominance and his potential weaknesses. He controlled the early rounds with ease, but appeared to fade late in the fight, raising concerns about his cardio over a full 5-round war. If he wants to become champion, he'll need to prove he can maintain his pace and power against the division's best. With the middleweight division packed with top contenders, the road to the title won't be easy. Rematches, upsets, and UFC politics could shake things up at any moment. Fighters like Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, and even Paulo Costa are still in the mix, and any of them could end up blocking Chimaev's path to the belt. But if there's one thing we know about Khamzat Chimaev, it's that he thrives on challenges. Whether he gets a direct shot at the title, has to go through a former champion like Adesanya, or takes on a top contender in a title eliminator, he remains as hungry as ever. Will 2025 finally be the year Khamzat Chimaev captures UFC gold? If he can stay active and seize the right opportunities, but with the division more competitive than ever, he'll have to prove that he truly is unstoppable. Ilia Topuria has finally revealed his next move, and it's not what many fans expected. In an exclusive interview with Spanish MMA media outlet El Chango, now translated into English, the featherweight champion shut down speculation that he would be moving up to challenge Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title, at least for now, while Topuria has made it clear that becoming a two-division champion is one of his biggest goals. UFC President Dana White isn't ready to sign off on that jump just yet. White wants to see Ilia solidify his reign at 145 pounds with multiple title defenses before he entertains the idea of a champion versus champion super fight. On top of that, the timing simply isn't right. Topuria has his sights set on a return in April or May, while Makhachev recently fought and won't be available for a bout in that window. I really want to fight Makhachev and become a double champion, but right now our timelines don't match up. I'm aiming for a return in May, while Islam just fought recently and won't be ready for a fight with me that soon, Topuria explained. So given the timing, my next fight will definitely be a defense of my featherweight title. Once I take care of business there, I'll turn my attention to the lightweight division. While Topuria didn't officially name his next opponent, all signs point to Alexander Volkanovski. The former longtime featherweight king has already revealed that discussions with Dana White are moving in the right direction, and that he expects to rematch Topuria next. With the champion targeting a May return, the timing lines up perfectly for the UFC to book the highly anticipated rematch. For Volkanovski, this fight is about more than just the title. It's about redemption. After suffering a brutal knockout loss to Topuria in their first fight, he has been laser focused on getting back to the top. That defeat wasn't just a setback, it was a wake-up call. Volkanovski has built a legendary career on toughness, fight IQ, and relentless pressure, but Topuria exposed weaknesses in his game that had never been seen before. The new champion's power, precision, and ability to control the pace made him look nearly unstoppable that night. If Volkanovski is going to turn the tables, he will need to find answers to those problems, and he'll need to do it quickly. But if there's one thing Volkanovski has proven time and time again, it's that he thrives under pressure. He has made a career out of overcoming adversity, and his ability to adapt between fights is among the best in the sport. With the right adjustments, a smarter defensive approach, and his trademark grit, he absolutely has the tools to make this a much more competitive fight. The question is, will that be enough? Topuria isn't just the new champion, he's a champion with the confidence, skill set, and momentum to dominate the division for years to come. But Volkanovski is as dangerous as ever, and if he can weather the storm and implement the right game plan, he may just reclaim his throne. The only thing left now is for the UFC to make it official. Thanks for tuning in. If you're as intrigued by this potential clash as we are, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking MMA news and updates. Stay tuned, you won't want to miss what's next.